I was being wheeled into surgery. The lights above me were too bright. The gurney was moving fast. Too fast. My insides were bleeding. I knew that much. The doctor said something about a ruptured organ. Internal damage. Emergency procedure. I couldn't think straight through the pain. But I had to. Because my twins were home with a babysitter who left at 7. And it was already 6:45. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands. Blood on my fingers. I didn't care. I called my parents. They answered on the 4th ring.
Mom. Dad. Please.
I need you. My voice didn't sound like mine. I'm going into surgery right now. Emma and Noah are home. The sitter leaves in 15 minutes.
Please.
Just, please come watch them. Silence. Then my mom's voice.
Cold.
We can't, sweetie. We have plans tonight. Plans. I was bleeding. Maybe dying. And they had plans. It's just for a few hours, I whispered.
Please.
My dad's voice came through. Firm. You always figure things out, Jessica. You'll be fine. The line went dead. I stared at my phone. The nurses were talking to me. I couldn't hear them. Something inside me broke right there. Not my spleen. That was already ruptured. Something else. Something I didn't know I'd been holding together for years. I hired a stranger to watch my kids that night. Paid triple. And I made a decision. No more. 3 weeks later, my grandfather called a family meeting. He stood up in front of everyone, aunts, uncles, cousins, my parents. And he said something. Just a few quiet words. But the moment he spoke, the look on my parents' faces changed instantly. Before I tell you what Grandpa said, can I ask you something? Have you ever been the person everyone takes for granted? The one who always shows up, always helps, always says yes, and nobody even notices? Drop a comment if you've been there. Just type yes or tell me your story. And if you want to know what happened next, what my grandfather said that changed everything, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what comes next, it's something I never saw coming. Now let me take you back to where this all started. I'm Jessica Miller, 32 years old. I work as a nurse in Chicago. Night shifts mostly. Single mom to 4-year-old twins, Emma and Noah. Their dad left when I was 6 months pregnant. Just left. One day he was there. The next day his stuff was gone. No note. No explanation. I raised them alone from day one. And I thought I was doing okay. I mean, we had food. We had a roof. The kids were healthy. But I was always tired. Always broke. Always one emergency away from falling apart. My parents lived 20 minutes away. I called them sometimes. Asked for help. Can you watch the twins this Saturday? I have a double shift. Oh, honey, we're busy. Can you come over? Noah's sick and I need to pick up medicine. We're helping your sister right now. My sister. Lauren. 2 years older than me. Beautiful. Confident. She worked in marketing. Made good money. Had a nice apartment downtown. No kids. No responsibilities. But somehow, she was the one who needed help all the time. And my parents gave it to her. Every single time. When Lauren wanted to repaint her living room, Dad spent an entire weekend there. When she got a promotion, Mom threw her a party.
Catered. Fancy.
When I graduated nursing school, after working full-time and raising twins alone, I got a text. Congrats. So proud. No party. No visit. A text. I told myself it was fine. Lauren needed more support. She was sensitive. She had anxiety. I was the strong one. I could handle things. That's what Mom always said. You're so capable, Jessica. You always land on your feet. I believed her. I thought being strong meant I didn't need anyone. I didn't know I was just convenient to ignore. The money started 6 years ago. Dad called me one night. His voice sounded off.
Tight.
Jess, I need to ask you something. I was folding laundry. Emma and Noah were asleep. What's up? We're a little short this month. The mortgage is due and things are tight. Could you help us out? Just this once. I stopped folding. How much? $2,000. I looked at my bank account. I had $2,300. That was it. until my next paycheck. But they were my parents.
Okay, I said.
I'll send it tonight. Thank you, sweetheart. We'll pay you back. They didn't. And the next month, Dad called again.
Just one more time, Jess.
We're figuring things out. Then the month after that. And the month after that. It became automatic. 2,000 every month. Then my mom's car broke down. I paid for the repairs. Then their roof leaked. I covered it. Then Dad's health insurance got expensive. I added that too. I kept a list on my phone.
I don't know why.
Maybe I needed to see it. To know it was real. 6 years. Over $200,000. And I never said no. Not once. Because I kept thinking, maybe this time they'll notice. Maybe this time they'll say, thank you. Maybe this time they'll see me the way they see Lauren. Lauren knew about the money. Kind of. She knew Mom and Dad were borrowing from me. One time, at Christmas, she pulled me aside. You know they're never going to pay you back, right? I shrugged. They're our parents. She laughed. Not mean. Just like I was being naive. Jess, you're too nice. You let people walk all over you. I wanted to say something. Like, and you let them worship you while I pay their bills. But I didn't. I just smiled. Because that's what I did. I smiled. I stayed quiet. I handled it. The twins' 4th birthday was in March. I planned a small party at the park.
Just family.
I texted my parents 2 weeks ahead. Emma and Noah's birthday is March 14th. Party at Oak Park at noon. Hope you can come. Mom replied. We'll try. The day before the party, I texted again. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. No response. The morning of the party, I called. No answer. At the park, I set up balloons.
A cake.
Presents. Emma kept asking, where's Grandma and Grandpa? They're coming, sweetie. But I knew they weren't. At 1 o'clock, my phone buzzed. A text from Mom. So sorry. We're at Lauren's art show today. Forgot to mention it. We'll make it up to the twins. I stared at the message. Lauren's art show. She wasn't even an artist. It was a hobby. A gallery showing for local amateurs. And my parents chose that over their grandchildren's birthday. I put my phone away. I smiled at Emma and Noah. We sang happy birthday. We ate cake. And I swallowed the hurt like I always did. I didn't confront them. I didn't even bring it up. Because, what was the point? They'd apologize. They'd say they lost track of time. They'd promise to do better. And nothing would change. So, I just kept going. Kept working. Kept paying. Kept pretending I was fine. Until the night, everything fell apart. It happened on a Tuesday. I'd just finished a 12-hour shift at the hospital. I was exhausted. The kind of tired where your whole body aches. But I couldn't stop yet. I had to pick up the twins from daycare. Then make dinner. Then baths. Then bedtime stories. Being a single mom doesn't stop just because you're tired. I got in my car. Pulled out of the hospital parking lot. The roads were quiet. It was almost 7. I was 2 blocks from daycare when it happened. The light turned green. I pressed the gas. And then, impact. A truck slammed into my driver's side. The sound was so loud. Metal crunching. Glass exploding. My car spun. I couldn't breathe. Everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I was on the ground. People were shouting. Someone was holding my hand. A paramedic. Ma'am, can you hear me? I tried to nod. Pain shot through my whole body. We're getting you to the hospital. You're going to be okay. But I didn't feel okay. I felt wet.
Warm.
I looked down.
Blood.
A lot of it. My kids, I whispered. The paramedic leaned closer. What? My twins. Emma and Noah. They're at daycare. It closes at 7:30. I grabbed his arm.
Please.
I need to call someone. He nodded. We'll help you. Just stay with me, okay? They lifted me onto a stretcher. My whole body screamed. In the ambulance, a nurse checked my vitals. She looked worried. Possible internal bleeding, she said to someone. We need to move fast. Internal bleeding. That meant surgery. I fumbled for my phone. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely hold it. I called my parents. It rang.
And rang. Pick up.
Please pick up. Finally, my dad's voice. Jessica? What's wrong? Dad. My voice cracked. I was in an accident. I'm in an ambulance. They're taking me to surgery. Silence.
Dad, please.
The twins are at daycare. It closes in 20 minutes. Can you pick them up? Just until I'm out of surgery. I heard him cover the phone. Muffled voices. Then my mom's voice, sharp. Jessica, we're about to leave for dinner. Can't you call someone else? I froze. Mom, I'm bleeding.
I don't know what's happening. Please.
Just this once. More muffled voices. Then my dad again. Look, sweetheart, you're a nurse. You know how hospitals work. You'll be fine. Just call the daycare and explain. They'll understand. Dad. We really have to go. Text us later and let us know you're okay. The line went dead. I stared at my phone. The nurse was watching me. Are they coming? She asked gently. I couldn't answer. I couldn't breathe. My parents just hung up on me. While I was bleeding in an ambulance, the nurse touched my shoulder. Do you have anyone else you can call? I scrolled through my contacts. Most were coworkers. Acquaintances. Nobody I could ask to pick up my kids on 10 minutes' notice. Then I saw a name. Dr. Ben Harris.
He worked in the ER.
We'd done shifts together. Nice guy. Quiet. Always brought donuts on Fridays. I pressed call. He answered immediately. Jessica? Ben. I was crying now. I couldn't help it. I need help. What's wrong? I was in a car accident. I'm on the way to the hospital.
Surgery.
My twins are at daycare, and my parents won't. I couldn't finish. Where's the daycare? He asked.
Calm.
Steady. I told him. I'll get them, he said. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. Then, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. Focus on getting through surgery. I've got the twins. I closed my eyes. Thank you. Anytime. He hung up, and I cried. Not from pain. From relief. A coworker I barely knew just did what my own parents wouldn't. They rushed me into surgery. The doctor explained something about my spleen. Internal bleeding. Emergency procedure. I signed forms I didn't read. And then the anesthesia kicked in. Everything went dark. I woke up in a hospital bed. The lights were dim. Machines beeped softly. My whole body hurt. A nurse came over. You're awake.
Good.
How are you feeling? Terrible, I whispered. She smiled. That's normal. You just had major surgery. Your spleen was ruptured. We had to remove it. I blinked. My spleen? You're lucky. A few more minutes and… She didn't finish. You'll be okay now. You need to rest. My kids. Dr. Harris called. He said the twins are with him. Safe and sound. He'll bring them by tomorrow. I closed my eyes. Ben took my kids home. Stayed with them overnight. A near stranger. Because my parents couldn't be bothered. I stayed in the hospital for 4 days. Ben visited every day. Brought the twins by for short visits. Emma and Noah were scared at first, seeing me in a hospital bed with tubes and wires. But Ben made it fun. He brought coloring books. Let them draw on my cast. You're really good with them, I said. He shrugged. I like kids. You didn't have to do this.
He looked at me.
Really looked at me. Yes, I did. I didn't know what to say. My parents didn't call. Not once. Not a text. Not a voicemail. Nothing. On the 3rd day, my phone buzzed. A message from Lauren. Heard you were in an accident. Hope you're okay. That was it. No visit. No offer to help. Just hope you're okay. I turned off my phone. When I was discharged, Ben drove me home. The twins were asleep in the backseat. Thank you, I said, for everything. You already thanked me. I mean it. He pulled into my driveway. Jessica, can I ask you something? I nodded. Why didn't your parents help? I looked out the window. I don't know. That was a lie. I did know. They didn't help because they never had. Because I'd spent 6 years making their lives easier. And they'd spent 6 years taking it for granted. Ben carried Noah inside. I carried Emma. We tucked them into bed. And when he left, I sat on my couch in the dark. And I made a decision. No more. The next morning, I opened my laptop. My body still hurt. Every movement was slow. But I had something I needed to do. I logged into my bank account. And I looked at my automatic transfers. $2,000. First of every month. To my parents. 6 years of payments. I clicked cancel. Then I canceled the insurance payment. The car payment I'd been covering. All of it.
Done.
My hands were shaking. Not from fear. From relief. It felt like setting down something heavy I'd been carrying for way too long. I blocked their numbers next.
Mom. Dad.
Even Lauren. I didn't want to hear the excuses. The guilt trips. The "how could you do this to us" speeches. I just wanted silence. 3 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something made me pick up. Jessica. My mom's voice.
Tight.
Angry. How did you get this number? I called the hospital. They transferred me. She paused. Jessica, what is going on? What do you mean? The mortgage payment didn't go through. Neither did the insurance. I said nothing. Jessica, answer me. Did you cancel the transfers? Yes. Silence. Then her voice got louder. Are you serious right now? You're going to punish us because we couldn't drop everything for you. Punish them. Like I was a child throwing a tantrum. Mom, I almost died. You're fine. You're home, aren't you? I closed my eyes. I called you from an ambulance. Bleeding.
Scared.
And you chose dinner over helping with Emma and Noah. We had plans. I had surgery. My voice cracked. She went quiet for a second. Then she sighed. Like I was being dramatic. Jessica, you've always been so independent. You don't need us the way Lauren does. She's more fragile. Fragile. I'd heard that word my whole life. Lauren's fragile. Lauren needs more support. Lauren can't handle stress. And me? I was the strong one. The one who didn't need anything. I'm done, Mom. Done with what? With this. With pretending I don't matter. With paying your bills while you treat me like I'm invisible. That's not fair. You didn't even call me. Not once. Not after the accident. Not after surgery. Nothing. Her voice got cold. You're being selfish. I laughed. It hurt my ribs. I'm being selfish?
Yes.
We raised you. We gave you everything. And this is how you repay us. I wanted to scream. Instead, I took a breath. I gave you $200,000 over 6 years. I was there every time you needed something. And when I needed you once, just once, you weren't there. That's not. I'm not doing this anymore. Don't call me again. I hung up, and I blocked the new number too. That night, Emma climbed into bed with me. Mommy, are you sad? I pulled her close. A little. Why? I didn't know how to explain it. Sometimes people hurt us, even people we love. She nodded like she understood. Can I make you feel better? You already do, baby. She smiled and fell asleep against my shoulder. And I realized something. I didn't need my parents to validate me. I had Emma and Noah. I had Ben, who barely knew me but showed up anyway. That was enough. 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. From my dad. I almost threw it away. But I opened it. It was 1 page. Handwritten. Jessica, your mother and I have been talking. We don't understand why you're doing this.
We've always supported you.
We love you. But if you want to cut us off over one misunderstanding, that's your choice. We won't beg. Don't expect us to reach out again. Dad. I read it twice. Then I folded it up. And I threw it away. They still didn't get it. And maybe they never would. 3 weeks after the accident, my phone rang. A number I didn't recognize. But this time I answered. Jessica, it's Grandpa Joe. I sat up straight. Grandpa Joe. My mom's dad. I hadn't talked to him in over a year. Not because I didn't want to. but because my parents always made excuses. He's busy. He's traveling. Maybe next time. Grandpa. Yeah, kiddo. It's me.
His voice was warm.
Familiar. I felt tears prick my eyes. How are you? He asked. I'm okay. I heard about the accident. And the surgery. I froze. Who told you? Your Aunt Rachel. She works at the hospital, remember? She saw your name on the patient list. Aunt Rachel. My mom's younger sister. We'd always gotten along. But I rarely saw her. She told me what happened, Grandpa continued. And she told me your parents didn't show up.
I didn't know what to say.
Jessica, is that true? I swallowed hard. Yeah. He was quiet for a long moment. Can I come see you? You want to visit? If that's okay. Of course.
Yes.
Please. I'll be there Saturday. Saturday morning, I cleaned the apartment. Well, I tried to. I was still sore. Still moving slow. But I wanted things to look nice. Emma and Noah were excited. Who's coming, Mommy? My grandpa. Your great-grandpa. Is he nice? The nicest. At 10 o'clock, there was a knock. I opened the door. And there he was. Grandpa Joe. 78 years old.
Tall.
Silver hair. Kind eyes. He looked the same as I remembered. He pulled me into a hug. Gentle. Careful of my injuries. Hi, kiddo. I started crying. I couldn't help it. It's okay, he whispered. I'm here now. We sat at the kitchen table. Emma and Noah showed him their toys. He listened to every word they said. Asked questions. Laughed at their jokes. Just like he used to do with me when I was little. After a while, the twins ran off to play. And Grandpa looked at me. Tell me everything. So I did. I told him about the accident. The phone call. My parents' response. The money I'd been sending for 6 years. All of it. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he sat back. $200,000. I nodded. And they didn't even call you after surgery.
No.
He shook his head. I knew your parents were playing favorites. I've seen it for years. But I didn't know about the money. I didn't want anyone to know. Why not? I shrugged. Because it felt like, I don't know, like admitting I wasn't good enough. Like if I just gave more, they'd finally see me. He reached across the table and took my hand. Jessica, listen to me. You're good enough.
You always have been. This isn't about you.
It's about them. I looked down. Your mom and dad, they've made a lot of mistakes. And I take some responsibility for that. I wasn't around enough when your mom was growing up. I was always working. That's not your fault. Maybe not. But I see it now. How she turned out. How she treats you and Lauren differently. He squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you.
You know that.
I looked up. You raised 2 beautiful kids on your own. You work hard. You help people. And even after everything, you're still kind. Tears ran down my face. I don't feel strong right now. Strength isn't about never breaking, kiddo. It's about getting back up. We talked for hours. About everything.
He told me about his life.
His regrets. His hopes. And then he said something that changed everything. I'm having a birthday party next month. My 80th. That's amazing, Grandpa. I want you there. You and the twins. Of course I'll be there. He paused. Your parents will be there too. I stiffened. I know you don't want to see them. And I understand. But I think it's time they heard the truth. What do you mean? He leaned forward. I mean, they've been telling everyone their version of the story. That you cut them off for no reason. That you're being dramatic. My stomach sank. They're saying that? According to Rachel, yes. I shouldn't have been surprised. But it still hurt. I want to set the record straight, Grandpa said. At my party. In front of the whole family. Grandpa, I don't want to cause drama. You're not causing it. You're ending it. He pulled out a small notebook. I need you to write it all down. Every payment. Every date. Every time they let you down. Why? Because the truth matters, Jessica. And it's time people knew it. That night, after Grandpa left, I sat at my kitchen table. Laptop open. Blank document staring back at me. I'd kept records. Bank statements. Receipts. Emails. All saved in a folder I never looked at. I opened it now. And I started writing. Month 1. September 2018. Mortgage payment. $2,000. Dad called. Said it was just this once. Month 2. October 2018. Mortgage payment. $2,000. Mom said they'd pay me back by Christmas. Month 3. November 2018. Mortgage payment. $2,000. Car repair for Dad. $800. No mention of pay me back anymore. It went on. Page after page. 6 years of payments. Some months were just the mortgage. Other months, there were extras. Medical bills. Home repairs. Lauren's emergencies. One time, I paid for Lauren's new laptop. $1,200. Because she needed it for work. She sent me a thank you text with a smiley face. That was it. By the time I finished, it was past midnight. The twins were asleep. I sat back and looked at the total. $226,400. More than I'd remembered. I stared at the number. That was a house. That was college funds for Emma and Noah. That was security. And I gave it away. For what? For parents who didn't even call when I almost died. I saved the document. Printed it out. 10 pages. Every transaction. Every date. I put it in a folder and set it on the counter. Then I went to bed. But I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the party. About facing my parents. About everyone knowing the truth. Part of me wanted to back out. To tell Grandpa I couldn't do it. But another part of me, that part was tired. Tired of being invisible. Tired of pretending I didn't matter. Tired of carrying their weight while they acted like I was the burden. So I decided I was going to the party. And I was going to let the truth speak for itself. The next few weeks were quiet. I went back to work part-time. Light duties. Nothing too strenuous. Ben checked on me every shift. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Thanks again. For everything. He shrugged. You do the same for me. I smiled. Because I would. One afternoon, Lauren called. From a new number. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity won. Jessica, finally. Why aren't you answering Mom and Dad's calls? I sighed. Because I don't want to talk to them. This is ridiculous. You're acting like a child. Lauren. Do you know how upset they are? Mom's been crying for weeks. Good. Silence.
What?
I said good. Maybe she should cry. Maybe she should feel bad. Lauren's voice got sharp. You're being selfish. There was that word again. Do you know what happened? I asked. I know you had an accident and you're blaming them for not dropping everything. I called them from an ambulance, Lauren. Bleeding. Terrified. And they chose dinner over watching Emma and Noah. They had plans. I had surgery. She huffed. You always do this. You make everything about you. I laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. When have I ever made anything about me? All the time. You're always playing the victim. I've been paying their mortgage for 6 years. Silence. What? $2,000 a month. Plus their car payments. Their insurance. Their repairs. For 6 years. That's not true. It is. I have the receipts. She didn't say anything for a long time. Why would you do that? Because they asked. And I thought if I helped enough, they'd see me the way they see you. Her voice got quieter. Jess. Don't. Just don't. I hung up, and I blocked her number too. The day before the party, Grandpa called. You ready, kiddo? I don't know. That's okay. You don't have to be. What if everyone hates me? They won't. What if they take their side? He was quiet for a moment. Then they're not your people. And that's okay too. I took a deep breath. I'm scared. I know. But I'll be right there with you. That helped. A little. Saturday morning. I woke up with my stomach in knots. Today was the party. I got the twins dressed. Emma in a blue dress. Noah in a button-up shirt. They looked adorable. Where are we going, Mommy? Emma asked. To a party for Great-Grandpa Joe. Will there be cake? Probably. That made them happy. I looked at myself in the mirror. Simple black dress. Hair pulled back. I didn't want to stand out. I just wanted to get through this. The party was at Grandpa's house. A big old place in the suburbs. Wraparound porch. Huge backyard. When we pulled up, there were already a dozen cars in the driveway. My heart started pounding. I gripped the steering wheel. You okay, Mommy? Noah asked from the back seat. Yeah, buddy. I'm okay. I wasn't. But I got out of the car anyway. Inside, the house was full of people. Aunts. Uncles. Cousins I hadn't seen in years. Everyone was laughing, talking, drinking. And then I saw them. My parents. Standing near the fireplace. Mom in a cream-colored dress. Dad in a suit. They looked normal. Happy even. Like nothing was wrong. They saw me at the same time. Mom's smile froze. Dad's face went hard. For a second nobody moved. Then Lauren appeared. She walked over with a tight smile. Jessica. You actually came. Grandpa invited me. Right. She looked at the twins. Hi, Emma. Hi, Noah. They hid behind my legs. Lauren's smile faltered. They're shy, I said. Clearly. She walked away. Grandpa found me a few minutes later. He hugged me tight. You made it. I almost didn't. He pulled back and looked at me. You're braver than you think, kiddo. I didn't feel brave. I felt like running. Come on, he said. Let's get you something to drink. For the first hour, I stayed in the corner. Aunt Rachel came over to say hi. I'm so glad you're here, she said. Thanks. Your mom's been telling everyone you had a breakdown. I looked at her. What? Yeah. She's been saying you're not well, that you need space. My chest tightened. That's not what happened. I know. That's why I called your grandpa. She squeezed my hand. Don't let her rewrite the story. At 2:00, Grandpa stood up. He clinked his glass. The room went quiet. Thank you all for coming, he said. It means a lot to have my family here for my 80th birthday. Everyone clapped. He smiled. Before we cut the cake, I want to say a few things. My heart started racing. This was a continue for 31 p.m. I've been thinking a lot lately, he continued. About family, about what it means, about how we treat the people we love. He looked around the room. And I've realized something. We don't always get it right. A few people nodded. Sometimes we take people for granted. We assume they'll always be there. Always help. Always forgive. His eyes landed on my parents. Sometimes we forget that love isn't just about words. It's about actions. Mom shifted uncomfortably. And sometimes, Grandpa said, his voice getting quieter, we hurt the people who deserve it the least. He turned to me. Jessica, would you come up here? My legs felt like jelly. Everyone was staring. I walked to the front of the room. Grandpa put his arm around me. This is my granddaughter, he said. Some of you know her. Some of you don't. But I want to tell you about her. I could barely breathe. Jessica is a nurse. She works night shifts at Chicago General. She's a single mom to 2 beautiful kids. He gestured to Emma and Noah. And for the past 6 years, she's been paying her parents' mortgage. Gasps rippled through the room. Mom's face went pale. $2,000 a month, Grandpa continued. Plus car payments, insurance, repairs, medical bills. He pulled out the folder. My folder. In total, she's given them over $200,000. More gasps. Grandpa, Dad started. I'm not finished, Grandpa said firmly. The room went silent. 2 months ago, Jessica was in a car accident. Serious. Internal bleeding. She needed emergency surgery. He looked at my parents. From the ambulance, she called you. She asked you to watch her kids for a few hours. Just until she got out of surgery. Mom was crying now. And you said no. His voice was calm. Steady. But the words hit like a hammer. You said no because you had dinner plans. Aunt Rachel shook her head. Someone whispered, Oh my God. Not only did you say no, Grandpa continued, but you didn't call, didn't visit, didn't check if she was okay. He paused. A coworker she barely knew stepped up, watched her kids overnight, took care of her. He looked around the room. That's the truth. Not a breakdown. Not a misunderstanding. That's what happened. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. Some looked shocked. Some looked angry. My mom was sobbing into her hands. Dad just stood there, frozen. I'm not telling you this to shame anyone, Grandpa said. I'm telling you because Jessica deserves to have her story heard. The real story.
He turned to me.
Do you want to say anything? I looked out at the room. At my parents. At Lauren. At all the people who'd believed their version. And I took a breath. I didn't plan what to say. I just started talking. I didn't want to come here today. My voice was shaking. I didn't want to make this a big thing. I just wanted to move on. I looked at my parents. But I can't move on when you're telling people I had a breakdown. That I'm unstable. That I cut you off for no reason. Mom opened her mouth. Let me finish, I said. She closed it. I've spent 6 years trying to be enough for you. Trying to earn the kind of love you gave Lauren without even thinking about it. I felt tears coming. When Lauren wanted to redecorate her apartment, you spent a whole weekend helping her. When I graduated nursing school, you sent a text. Someone in the crowd winced. When Lauren got a promotion, you threw a party. When I had twins, you didn't even visit the hospital. Lauren looked down. I told myself it was okay. That I was strong. That I didn't need you. I wiped my eyes. But I did need you. I needed you when their dad left. I needed you when I was working 16-hour shifts and coming home to 2 crying babies. I needed you when I was so tired I could barely stand. My voice cracked. And I really needed you when I was in that ambulance, bleeding,
Scared.
thinking I might die. The room was completely silent. But you chose dinner. I looked at my mom. You called me a burden. After everything I'd done. After every dollar I sent. Every time I said yes when I should have said no. She was crying harder now. I'm not strong, Mom. I've never been strong. I was just the only option. So I had to figure it out. I took a shaky breath. I don't hate you. I don't even want you to suffer. I just want you to see me. My dad finally spoke. Jessica, I see you now, I interrupted. I see that you're never going to change. That no matter how much I give, it'll never be enough.
I looked at Grandpa.
So I'm done. I'm done trying to earn something I should have had from the beginning. I turned back to the room. That's all I wanted to say. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Aunt Rachel started clapping. Slow at first. Then others joined in. Not everyone, but enough. My mom ran out of the room. Dad followed her. Lauren stood there looking lost. After the speech, people came up to me. Cousins I barely knew. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. You're so brave. I didn't feel brave. I felt exhausted. Grandpa pulled me aside. You did good, kiddo. It doesn't feel good.
It will.
Eventually. I hoped he was right. An hour later, I found Lauren outside. She was sitting on the porch steps. I almost walked away, but something made me sit down next to her. We didn't talk for a while. Then she spoke. I didn't know about the money. I know. I didn't know how bad it was. I looked at her. Did you ever ask? She flinched.
No.
We sat in silence. I'm sorry, she said quietly. For what? For being the favorite. For not noticing. For everything. I didn't know what to say. I know it doesn't fix anything, she continued. But I am sorry. I took a breath. I don't blame you, Lauren. You didn't make them treat me that way. But I didn't stop it either. That was true. I should have stood up for you, she said. I should have said something.
Yeah.
You should have. She nodded. We sat there for a while longer. Not hugging. Not forgiving. Just existing next to each other. It was a start. Before I left, my dad found me. He looked tired. Older than I'd ever seen him. Jessica. I turned. Can we talk? I don't know if there's anything to say. Please. I sighed. Fine. We stepped into the hallway. He rubbed his face. I didn't realize how much you were doing for us. I stared at him. You didn't realize? I mean, I knew about the mortgage, but I didn't add it all up. I didn't see. You didn't want to see.
He stopped.
You're right. That surprised me. I took you for granted, he continued. Your mom and I both did. We thought you were fine. We thought you didn't need us. I told you I needed you. That night in the ambulance. His face crumpled. I know. And I'll regret that for the rest of my life. I felt tears coming again. I don't know if I can forgive you. I'm not asking you to. Not yet. He took a breath. I just want you to know that I see it now. I see what we did. And I'm sorry. It wasn't enough. But it was something. Okay, I said. Can we try to fix this? I thought about it. Maybe. Someday. But not now. He nodded. I understand. On the drive home, Emma asked, why was Grandma crying? I glanced in the rearview mirror. Because sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. And it makes them sad. Did you forgive her? Not yet, baby. Are you going to? I thought about it. I don't know. Noah piped up. I like Great-Grandpa Joe. That made me smile. Me too, buddy. The weeks after the party were strange. People kept reaching out. Cousins. Aunts. Even some of my parents' friends. Everyone wanted to say they were sorry. That they didn't know. I appreciated it. But it didn't change what happened. My parents tried too. They sent letters. Left voicemails. Dad even showed up at my apartment once. I didn't answer the door. Not because I hated them, but because I wasn't ready. Lauren texted me one night. Can we meet for coffee? I stared at the message for a long time. Finally, I replied. Okay. We met at a cafe downtown.
She was already there when I arrived.
2 coffees on the table. She'd ordered my usual. I sat down. Thanks for coming, she said.
Yeah.
We were quiet for a minute. Then she spoke. I've been thinking a lot since the party. About what? About how I treated you. How I just went along with everything. She stirred her coffee. I didn't want to see it. Because if I saw it, I'd have to admit I was part of the problem. I took a sip of my coffee. You were. She nodded. I know. So what now? I asked. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to tell you that I'm trying to be better. Trying how? I'm in therapy. Working on some stuff. That surprised me. Really? Yeah. Turns out being the favorite comes with its own issues. I almost laughed. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me, she added quickly. I know what I had. I know what you didn't. Good. She looked at me. Can we start over? Not forget what happened. But just try? I thought about it. I don't know if we can be close, Lauren. Not like sisters are supposed to be. I know. But maybe we can be something. She smiled a little. I'll take that. A month later, Ben asked me to dinner. Just dinner, he said. No pressure. I hesitated. I don't know if I'm ready for that. It's just dinner, Jessica. As friends. I smiled. Okay. As friends. We went to a little Italian place near the hospital. It was nice. Easy. We talked about work. About the twins. About life. You seem different, he said. Different how? Lighter. Like you're not carrying something heavy anymore. I thought about that. I guess I'm not. He smiled. Good. Later that night, after I put the twins to bed, I sat on the couch. And I thought about everything. The accident. The surgery. The party. All of it. For the first time in 6 years, I wasn't sending money to my parents. I wasn't waiting for a call that would never come. I wasn't trying to be enough for people who'd never see me. I was just me.
And that was okay.
Grandpa called the next day. How are you holding up, kiddo? I'm good. Really? I'm proud of you. For what? For standing up for yourself. That's not easy. I smiled. Thanks, Grandpa. Anytime. 3 months later, I got a letter. From my mom. I almost threw it away. but I opened it. Dear Jessica, I don't expect you to read this. I wouldn't blame you if you threw it away. But I need to say some things.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for the way I treated you. For the way I made you feel invisible. I see it now. How much you did for us. How little we gave back. I don't have an excuse. I was selfish. I was blind. Your father and I are in counseling now. We're trying to understand why we did what we did. I know it doesn't fix anything. But I wanted you to know. I love you. I always have. I just didn't show it the way I should have. I hope someday you can forgive me.
Mom.
I read it twice. Then I put it in a drawer. I didn't reply. Not because I was trying to punish her, but because I didn't know what to say yet. Maybe someday I would. But not today. 6 months after the party, something changed. I started sleeping better. Smiling more. I wasn't angry all the time. I wasn't sad. I was just okay. And okay felt pretty good. One night, Emma asked me a question. Mommy, do you miss Grandma and Grandpa? I thought about it. Sometimes. Why don't they come visit? Because we're taking a break right now. Will they ever come back? I looked at her. Maybe. Someday. She nodded. Okay. And that was that. Kids are resilient like that. Ben and I started dating officially. It was slow. Careful. But it felt right. One night he told me something. You know what I admire about you? What? You didn't let what they did make you bitter. I felt bitter for a while. But you didn't stay there. That's the difference. I smiled. I had help. We all need help. He was right. A year after the accident, I threw a party. For the twins' 5th birthday. I invited Grandpa Joe, Aunt Rachel, Lauren,
Ben.
and I didn't invite my parents. It felt okay. The party was small, simple.
Cake.
Balloons. Presents. Emma and Noah were so happy. And watching them, I realized something. I was happy too. Not perfect. Not healed completely. But happy. Later that night, after everyone left, I sat on the couch. The twins were asleep. The apartment was quiet. And I thought about how far I'd come. A year ago, I was bleeding in an ambulance. Alone. Terrified. Begging for help. Now, I was surrounded by people who actually cared. People who showed up. People who loved me. Not because of what I could give them, but just because. My phone buzzed. A text from Grandpa. Great party, kiddo. You're doing amazing. I smiled.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Love you. Love you too. I put my phone down, and I let myself feel it. All of it. The hurt. The healing. The hope. This was my life now. And it was mine to live. Not theirs.
Mine.
And that was enough. The end.